Net farm income, which you and I addressed somewhat a few months ago, certainly is not going to be what farmers would like. What is your assessment now of where the farmer's income for this year is going to be?
Well, it's certainly, when you read any of the reports or that are out there by any of the major agricultural economic firms, it's going to be down significantly. A couple years ago we had such great prices, and we're all feeling the pinch of what's happening in the commodities markets. On top of it, we've got interest rates probably getting ready to do something, and costs on the operating expense side haven't really mitigated that at all, even with the commodity prices where they are. Going into this cycle, we're calling it an agricultural efficiency cycle. They have went in with incredibly strong balance sheets, incredibly strong risk management, incredibly strong operating situations. So as an industry, there would not be a better time for us to enter into this. And as you know, it's a cyclical industry. There will always come these efficiency challenges that will challenge us all to sharpen our pencil and consolidate some of the growth that we went through and find ways to lower that cost per unit of production.
Tom, once again, I do appreciate you joining us here at the Illinois State Fair. More importantly, we appreciate what Farm Credit has done for the agriculture and rural communities, especially in just providing good, sound wisdom and knowledge going through some of these cumbersome times. Agriculture is cyclical, and we know that.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we've had a number of just really great years here in agriculture. There's been some pressure in the livestock sectors at different times. As far as grain farms go, it's been very strong. Now we're seeing some challenges. As you mentioned earlier, we've got commodity prices down, we've got input prices seem to be remaining very firm. So we're certainly working with our member borrowers around that. Where we're really blessed, frankly, Gail, is such a high degree of business acumen out there today in the American farmer, the farm families that we serve. I would put their leadership of their businesses up against any company globally in the world. The American farmer has, by being in such a cyclical industry, by definition, has to be a fantastic leader and manager of their business. And frankly, we couldn't be in a stronger position, both as a cooperative serving agriculture or with our member borrowers. Their balance sheets going into what we're calling an agricultural efficiency cycle could not be stronger. If you look back to even just the 1980s, which seems to be in all of our minds, 32% of the farms had no debt in the 80s. Today that number is 75%. So 75% of the farms today that we serve, that are out there here in Illinois, have no debt. Prime rate was 21%. Today the prime rate's 3.25%. If you look at interest expense as a percentage of overall farm expenses, back in the 80s it was 150% of net farm income, and today it's 14%. And certainly our local loan officers, our crop insurance specialists, they can offer a whole multitude of ways to manage not only interest expense but also overall risk management through crop insurance for an operation. So we're very, very proud to partner with such strong business owners.
We're hearing a lot about, in a lot of areas, stable, other areas going down just a little bit, and other areas actually going up. What are some of the facts that you've got to bring to the table today, Tom?
Illinois has tended to be very stable production-wise compared to certainly the Plain States. A high degree of value in our farmland. When you look back over 10 years, we've seen over 160% increase in farmland values, and it's actually more dramatic the further back you go. If you go back 15 years, we've seen in excess of a 300% increase in farmland values. And Gail, I think, as you know, we do a study every year of the exact same 20 farms. It's our benchmark study throughout the 60 counties here in Illinois that we serve, and it's all over the board. Whereas I think in most other states you're beginning to hear about declines. Our average did have a slight decline, about 1.5% down on average, but that's over those 20 farms. And when you kind of get into that, there's such huge, as you know, vast regional differences in farmland markets. We've seen in that study of 20 farms, we saw some farms up 11%, and we saw some farms down 15%. So this is the first negative print on an average that we've had in several years now. So we have seen certainly the rate of increase come out of this market, and we're beginning to see it kind of stabilize and perhaps trend just slightly downward, which frankly, taking a pause at this point is probably not an all bad thing.